Word up, peeps, and welcome to this week's Raw Ups and Downs. And guess where it originated from this week? That's right, it was over here in sunny England, where I'm from. What a wonderful world. Although I didn't go. Life, man. Life. Anyway, that's irrelevant because it's all about whether WWE was able to put on a good Monday night show or whether it was full of nonsense and ludicrousness and made us sad. But yes, it did take place in Manchester and I went to university there. That's wonderful. I'm Simon Miller. Let's ups and downs. It was the usual start for Raw as The Miz and Kurt Angle came out to set the hook for the show. You know what? I didn't like it this week. That's right, I didn't like it. I thought it was a bit boring, to be honest. It's getting it down. And it's not like this was bad, but it was just, I just didn't care. Like The Miz went on about his match he's going to have at Survivor Series with Baron Corbin. I'm not invested in that at all. So how can I get invested when he starts talking about it? I mean, The Miz has great delivery, and it's kind of fun to hear what he's going to say. But then I'm going to see The Miz versus Baron Corbin. I'm like, okay, whatever. Do your thing. I'll watch. I'll wave my arms around or whatever you do when you watch a wrestling match. But right now, with a few weeks to go, who cares? And then Angle came out, and the basic point here was that The Miz thinks Kurt Angle is actually a really bad dude and he set up Daniel Bryan and that he's got it in for The Miz. And to be fair, Kurt Angle then did put The Miz in a match with Braun Strowman, which kind of proved The Miz's point. So yeah, all we did here is we went over all the story points from the past and we set some story points for the future. And I get it, that's what we've got to do. But here, it was just devoid of excitement. That's why I didn't like it. And then we did have the Qatar on a pole match between Elias and Jason Jordan, and all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, we've gone back to the year 2000 and I'm watching WCW. Down. That's a bit harsh because this was fun enough, but all we saw was Elias got the Qatar, he missed Jason Jordan, then Jason Jordan beat Elias up for a bit, and then he got the Qatar, he smashed it over Elias's back, and that was that. Jason Jordan wins. Great. Much like the opening, this was just kind of there. It was like an inoffensive smell that still gets in your nostrils and bothers you a little bit. Didn't really do anything, and again I watched it going, yeah, okay, fine, whatever, and fine whatever is never good. It didn't matter though, because then Asuka came out and she did lay waste to another jobber. Now I know last week I gave this a down, but this week I'm going to give it an up because at least WWE has now realised what they should have done with her, and they're now doing it, and sometimes you've got to credit that. It's okay to make a mistake, as long as you realise your mistake and rectify it, so yes, it's an up. But to be honest, she didn't get that much of a reaction from the crowd, which happened on last week's show as well. And again, you're kind of like, have WWE already ruined another NXT superstar? What is the point of NXT? I thought the whole point of NXT was to warm these people up, so when they arrive on Raw or SmackDown, they're ready to go. But what we do instead is we take everything that was good and we forget about it and we start again. So what is the point of over there? Finally, we do get an up though, because then Samoa Joe arrived on the scene and reminded us all that Samoa Joe is badass. It's an up. To begin with, he just ran out and obliterated Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. He threw them off the stage. And then he got in the ring. He was like, who's going to challenge me? Huh? I'm Samoa Joe. Who's got what? Come on, boys. And then who came out? Finn Balor. They then went toe-to-toe in an awesome match, which did end in a double count-out, but that didn't matter because they carried on fighting. They had this huge pull-apart brawl, and remember that Finn Balor's a badass, Samoa Joe's a badass, and this is a feud that I want to see. It did get a bit odd though, as then Angle came out and said, oh man, I love this aggression. This kind of aggression is what I want to see. So Finn, Samoa, you're going to be on Team Raw at Survivor Series. That's a really bad idea, Kurt. I want to tell you how to do your job, but that's like taking two warring brothers and putting them on the same football team. You know what's going to happen? Mid-match, they're not going to care about the opposition, and they're going to go out and have a fight between themselves, and then you're going to be screwed. You actively screwed yourself over. But you do you, Kurt. You do you. It's not like your job's on the line now, is it? Oh yes, it is. Then it was time for some backstage nonsense, but it was all fine and made sense, so it's getting an up. We saw the Miz trying to G up the Miz for his match with Braun Strowman, and Bo Dallas was on full and believe mode, which I always enjoy. And we saw Kurt Angle like leaving Daniel Bryan a voicemail or something going, sorry last week Daniel, you got your ass whipped by Kane. It was also here where we found out that Jason Jordan, Kurt's fake son, is going to be added to Team Raw at Survivor Series. And the reason for this, away from the storyline, is that Roman Reigns isn't going to be better for them, or he's not going to be back to 100%, so they had to have a replacement, and hey, if you're trying to push Jason Jordan, you may as well put him in here and see if he sinks, or see if he swims. And then the matches returned, and we got Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Alicia Fox. Wasn't that great. It's getting it down. Banks made Alicia tap out, and of course Fox is the captain of the women's team at Survivor Series 4 Raw, so she was like, hey Banks, you're on the team, and also she'd put Oscar on the team earlier in the night as well. So that's all coming together. What Fox did not do, though, in her little hat, was put Bayley on the team, and Bayley was like, what's going on? And Sasha was kind of like, I don't care, Bo. Don't worry about me. I'm Sasha Banks. I'm just going to worry about me, no one else. Terrible impression. This was all kind of cool, though, because there's loads of interesting plot points here, and I'd imagine at the pay-per-view, it's all going to implode, and finally, maybe, we see the Sasha Banks heel turn we've been waiting for 87,000 years. I mean, think how long it's been. 87,000 years. Still hasn't happened. More impressively, we're not dead. Thought we'd be dead by now. Now, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it because I'm a fool and I'm mad with power, but The Miz versus Braun Strowman, getting up. The reason for this is simply because I find Braun so entertaining, I actually laugh out loud when I watch him on my TV. And if that's happening, how can I possibly give this a down? That wouldn't be fair. The man is just, well, he's just awesome, and he makes me happy. That's why this gets an up. This was a big mess as Kane got involved and the Miztourage got involved, and I think when all was said and done, Braun won via DQ or something. I don't know, but the highlight here was that although Strowman did get the upper hand over the big red machine, at the end of it, Kane was like, I'm still on my feet, dude. I'm still on my feet, which means we're going to lead to a big schmoz between those two guys, and I love that. I love it when two big dudes go at it. That sounds weird. But that does bring us to the biggest up of the night, because then Kurt Angle came out to announce that Enzo Amore's opponent for the evening would be none other than Pete Dunne. Massive up. Dunne did pin the Cruiserweight champion in about 3 minutes, and the real highlight here, aside from seeing Pete Dunne on the actual show that is called Monday Night Raw, was the crowd reaction. He was the UK hero. Fans went nuts. I went nuts. We all went nuts. This was a moment and I loved it. It made my heart happy. And sure, it mostly existed just to extend the Kalisto versus Enzo program, because Kalisto, he was at ringside and he was laughing at Enzo like, ha 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 ha, you lost. I don't care though. That's not what matters. Dunne is what matters. Fantastic. Then Alexa Bliss cut a promo. It's fine, whatever, talk smack about everybody, it gets an up, whatever, I don't care. All of this did bring us to the main event, which had been being teased throughout the evening, and it was The Bar versus The Shield, Ambrose and Rollins, for the Tag Team Championships. Can you believe it? The Bar won. They're the new champions. It gets it up. Now, the four were having an awesome match anyway, but it also tied into all the Survivor Series stuff, because then it turned out that the New Day was in the crowd and Kurt Angle freaked out. He's like, oh no, Steven Seagal. And Under Siege, they're back. So he sent all the Raw superstars out to ringside to surround the ring. Sheamus was like, this is a great distraction. He bro-kicked Rollins in the face. New champs. I went nuts for this because I didn't see it coming, and I always like being surprised. And now I guess we're getting the Usos versus The Bar at Survivor Series, and maybe that means they're doing something with the Shield too. Maybe Roman Reigns is a brand new role and he is going to be on the pay-per-view, but I don't know. Just open up so many questions. I like questions I can't answer. It gets me excited, and it proves that I should watch the TV show. You'd also imagine that on SmackDown later we're going to get the Raw Retaliation, but I'm pretty sure the Raw has a house show somewhere in Europe, so I don't know. So that's even better. More questions, no answers. All of this gets an up. So while this week's Raw did have some lowlights, I think the highlights outshone the lowlights. So I thought Raw was a good show, and yeah, you're like, oh, you always think Raw's a good show. Yeah, I do. And how great is that for me? Every week, even at 3 hours, I'm enjoying Monday night flagship WWE programming. Aren't I a lucky boy? Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow What Culture on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. My name is Simon Miller, aka Mr. Ups and Downs. That's a weird name, because it sounds like I'm happy one moment and sad the next, but as you know, I'm always happy. What an asshole.
Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Aren't you a star? Don't forget to subscribe below, and also the people who made this video, they're right here, so go and follow them and give them some love. If you want to see more content, there's probably some stuff flowing up above my head. Why not check it out? It could be fun. I'm not your dad.